So lately, many of you have come to me for help. You've been asking me help to find a flat in Barcelona, in Madrid, in Valencia, and I hear you, it's tough right now. So what I've decided to do is to work with a relocation expert. So her name is Kelly. And what we're doing is that we're consolidating all your questions, and in a series of videos, we're answering them. So if you have any questions, send them my way and we'll be answering them. This one is going to be about the hidden cost about renting in Madrid. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, I'm Leticia, I'm based in Barcelona, and I help you relocate to Spain. So stay tuned for the rest of the video. Thank you. The second client of mine is Lucas. He's Canadian from Quebec, and his main concern is like hidden costs and especially scams. So he's heard a lot of horror story around scams, especially. So in his case, he's coming to Madrid. So he's heard a lot of stories and he's really concerned, and he wants to make sure that, he doesn't get caught off guard. So he's actually moving in with his girlfriend. They have a budget of $2,500 per month, and they're a bit scared also about the budget. Like they're scared that because of the hidden cost that it might not be enough, especially about what they've heard about, rental being very expensive in Madrid. How would you guide them?
First of all, shame Luca, we're with you. In this case, is it just Luca working or does he have his spouse?
So good point. So in this case, right now at the beginning, that's just him working. Okay, so he's going to be the sole provider, but his wife is planning on looking for a job once she gets the visa sorted out.
So what you want to do, especially if there's just one person earning an income, is you want to make sure, in his case, the budget was 2,500 euros. Don't get to a place where your rent is that 2,500. Like if you're really going to be a strict budget, like I can only be spending, that's my ceiling per month,
okay,
it will go over. So that's why you've got to just go a little bit lower, or you've got to be open to the idea of it's going to be a little bit higher because there's a few things that might come up.
Okay.
So that's why we just always, if your budget is a strict, because there's two parts, right? There's a client that'll say my budget is 2,500 and then will show me an apartment for 3,000. And I'm like, oh, whoa, but the budget is 2,000. No, there's a little bit of room to play. If it's a strict 2,500, we got to bring it down because there's always a few things that'll happen.
Yeah, he was quite clear that it's a strict, especially because he's only going to be the one working at the beginning. So if you could, let's have this in mind, 2.5K max.
So everything you read online is obviously very scary.
Yeah.
A lot of people are having a lot of problems, but I would say that's because there's generally a lack of knowledge in the market. There's a huge gap, right? What I'm seeing with my clients is there are 8 main hidden costs. The 2 ways that I would say at a 90% chance we could bypass all of those costs.
Okay.
So we could get into it. Do you want to hear the solution first, or do you want to hear the main costs?
Like hit us with the main costs. So what are those?
Okay, I'm gonna hit you hard, and then we can speak about solutions because it's not that complex, right? The first costs that come up is potentially finding an apartment, and then before you know it, now they're saying you need an insurance. And if you have a pet, they might say we want a home insurance for the home, and then we want an insurance to protect against the pet.
Okay.
That's normally like a responsabilidad social, so that's for third party. Okay. Now that it's not a huge cost. Normally you can do it via your bank. It would be about, I don't know, a little bit more than 100 euros a year. But these little costs are the ones that can potentially build up. Okay. So an insurance cost might come your way if you have a pet, and sometimes apartment or an agency owner, an owner would like you to have an insurance on the home. Okay. More and more I'm seeing this happen. The second one is a minimum stay penalty. So what happens is in the contract says, I don't know, your apartment is for 11 months.
Okay.
And then after 3 months you want to leave and you don't realize, oh my God, like there's a 6 months minimum stay, or maybe it was not really spoken about. So it can get a little bit dodgy. Okay. So if there is a minimum stay, use out all those days and stay for the minimum stay, there's a penalty. It's very difficult to bypass that cost. It can really hit you. So important. The next one is the big W word.
What?
The most important thing in an apartment, especially for an employee.
Wi-Fi.
Like Wi-Fi, oh my God, this is absolutely huge, right? Wi-Fi normally in apartments in Spain are not top notch. Why? Because people are not normally working in the apartment, okay? So sometimes potentially you've had a previous owner that's not in the apartment all the time, or I don't know, it's a family that, but basically more for an employee, or if you're really coming from, I don't know, a first world country like the States or, the Nordics, someplace like that, you are used to top notch Wi-Fi. Okay, sometimes you will see Wi-Fi is included, but it's not top-notch.
Okay.
Now we're speaking about hidden costs. Time is a cost too. Okay, if your Wi-Fi is not great and the agency are not willing to change it, you need to spend time calling the providers, which takes time. And if you don't speak the language, I don't want to sound negative, but it's a headache and it takes time. Then they need to come install it. Sometimes it can take a few days, and then you would potentially have to upgrade and pay more. Okay, it could be about 50 euros, 100 euros a month. It's just a pain in the ass. It gives you a headache. Okay, so Wi-Fi. The next thing is missing appliances. So a lot of the time I'll get a call after clients moved into an apartment, unfortunately, and they'll say, oh, the coffee machine is not here, or where's the microwave? You know, like what's going on? And for them, it's like they have to get the microwave or the coffee machine. And now actually it's the air fryer. So it's still not so common in Spain, but you know, some clients, they want an air fryer and they assume it's going to be there. So when appliances are missing and then now all of a sudden you have to get them, sometimes also even a dishwasher, washing machine. Remember in Spain, we don't really have dryers. We dry our clothes outside in the sun. So that's one big thing. Okay. The other cost is replacing and repairing costs. Okay. What happens in an apartment often, and it says this in the contract, you as the tenant, after you move in, you have X days to check everything in the apartment. And after that X days, if something breaks,
it's on you.
It's on you, my friend. It's on you.
How convenient.
And it is not fun. I have personally had to replace a sink and it's not fun. Again, it takes time and it's a big cost. So that's a hidden cost that could potentially come up. And then we have potentially arriving into an apartment that's in a bad condition. Could be dirty, maybe the AC is not working, maybe the water's not working well. And unfortunately, this is a big heartbreaking cost. A lot of clients then have to find last minute a hotel or an Airbnb to stay in. This creates a lot of friction, it creates a lot of stress. And honestly, to get maintenance people to come and fix an apartment, it can take more than a week. So that is a big one, okay? And the last one that I would say is a very big, important cost, okay? Especially we're speaking about expats here. This is Luca's case. Luca, I don't know what visa he's coming on, but many times you would need to register with the town hall. And so that's the Padron, empadronamiento. Normally that's an important step in getting your NIE or TIE card. That's the identity card in Spain. And some apartments don't allow you to register.
Right.
Okay, some apartments don't. Many of times it's because they are not fully registered themselves. Okay, so they don't fully want to be in the system.
In this way, because in this case of Lucas, he's coming on a he's coming on a digital nomad visa, sorry. It's critical for him to get a Padron.
So Luca, we would make sure that he can get the Padron. Okay, that's something that's so important. And sometimes, you know, people forget to ask. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It's happened to me before. So, you know, but that's the negative side. I don't want to be a negative Nelly.
Let's talk about, we've gone through the 8 hidden costs. So now talk me through the solutions.
Okay, so 2 major solutions and then 1 important step that has to happen every single time. First solution is when you go and check out that apartment, you have to be like a top detective. You have to check everything. The best type of clients are the clients that arrive and they have a checklist. For example, we have a little bit of template. Check everything. Check the aircon, check the water, check under the bed, is it clean? Check the duvets, are they clean? Open the fridge, check the microwave, and do a stock take of what's in the apartment and ask. Sometimes you might think, that's a stupid question, I don't want to ask. No, ask if that table is staying. Ask if the plants are staying. Have everything out in the open because you don't want to be wondering, right? Also, when you are in the apartment, you have an opportunity to speak to the agent and to get some information. For example, hey, do they allow the Padron? So immediately when you're in the visit, you don't really want to waste any more time, okay? And even before the visit, while you have, you know, the agent on the phone, you can ask. But the moment you have that agent face to face, you've got opportunities to ask them questions. So do it. But when you're in the apartment, get down on all 4 knees and check under the bed. you know?
I'm down. The last time I got an apartment, I remember like hadn't tried didn't put the tap on. And then when I moved in, I realized that for the hot water to get hot, it took about a good 5 minutes for me to be waiting. So yeah, it would have been good to kind of like try things out and know that before ahead of time. So definitely I'm vouching for people to investigate and look below everyone, below the bed, and because those surprises can be annoying, you know, once you kind of sign up for a flat and then you find out that it doesn't have everything you wanted.
And I love that you bring up the hot water because I've been in my apartment for 2.5 years now. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes for the water to turn warm, and I've just never bothered to fix it because it's a headache. It's going to be a headache, so that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
In the summer, I have freezing cold showers to start, and then it gets warm. And in the winter, I have a little cry, and then eventually it gets warm. No, so trust me. The second part, solution. So the first one is being a detective in the actual visit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The second thing that you need to do is remember. So what's going to happen is you're going to do the visit.
Okay.
Then if you really like it, you would potentially reserve the apartment. That's potentially one contract. And then you would sign the actual contract. Okay. Reservation is basically you putting down a payment to say, I want to reserve this apartment. And that means when the agency receives your payment, they can't show it to anyone else.
Okay.
It means you're both officially in it. Okay. In that moment, potentially before you reserve, what you want to try and do, and if you say this word, they're going to be like, this person knows their shit. They know what they're talking about, right? If you say, can I see the borrador del contrato? That means borrador is basically the outline of the contract, okay? It takes a while to get the real contract finished and signed by the owner, but in general, an agency, and if they're working with a specific owner, would have a specific outline of the main clauses and ask them what are the main clauses. This one can, for example, prevent the hidden cost of minimum stay penalty.
Okay.
Can I get the Padron? You know, does it say in the contract you're not allowed to register with the Padron? You know, pet fees. Are there pet fees involved? Is there an insurance involved? Ask them. Say, can I see it? If they say no, send them all the questions.
Okay.
Because remember I said there's 2 solutions, okay? So being a detective when visiting, and then 2, asking for an outline of the contract or asking for the main clauses. And the most important part when it comes to avoiding hidden costs, written communication. Emails, WhatsApp. Emails is much better. When in doubt, write an email and get a written communication. Because if things turn ugly and you've got it written down from the agency, yes, you are allowed to get a Padron in this apartment, and then it turns around, you've got that written communication, okay? Write everything down. There is no such thing as a gentleman's agreement when it comes to real estate. Write everything down. It's got to be written down. So these are the main costs. Luca has every, I feel him completely. I think even myself, I look online, I want to see what clients are struggling with. I'm sad to hear that a lot of people are facing a lot of these hidden costs. But ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, have a checklist, check it, and make sure that you get written communication confirming what you've asked.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I think both Luisa and Lucas have all the information they need, and hopefully so do you. So thank you, Kelly, and we should do that. We should do it again very soon.
Super. And leave us questions because we'd love to hear what you're struggling with. We'll be doing our once a week coffee series, so looking forward to a lot more juicy questions.
Definitely.
And I won't be a negative Nelly. I hope to bring good vibes.
Definitely. So share them with us, and thank you.